Hi, how you doing? What's going on? Alright, if you're watching this video, I need you to go watch the episode 1. Alright? You need to go watch the episode 1 first, because this would all make sense. Alright? I want to tell you, I'm going to talk about a little bit of a failure I had, and well, it's not, I take ownership of it because I did it, but I want you to realize that doing things the right way is the best way to do it. And sometimes when we try to be heroes and we try to do something that it's not ideal, it's not a proper repair, then we end up at the short end of the stick. But hey, we are not victims, and we move forward, and when we gotta fix something, we fix it. All right? It's very easy to, anyways, go watch the first video, okay? Go watch the episode 1 of the silver Cadillac door. All right? And yeah, go. Why are you still watching? Go. All right, bye. All right, so here we are. Sorry if it's blurry. Here we are. Deja vu. Except I like this deja vu better, because hey, now we're blending what we were supposed to do the first time. All right, this is what's supposed to be done the first time. There was a repair here. If you haven't watched the first video, go watch it. There was a repair here, and I used my mini jet to try to keep it as small as possible, right? But as you can tell, and then I checked it here in the booth, and it looked perfect. I peeled off the tape. I'm like, oh wow, that looks great. I thought it was gonna look a lot darker. Look a lot darker, but you know, in here it looks fine. Then I'm like, okay, cool, that job came out beautiful. Next week later, car shows up again. The customer wasn't happy. There, I start feeling like a douchebag. Like, you know, what the heck, you know, that sucks. Like, we look like idiots now. But hey, so comes in, and now obviously I'm looking at it now sanded, and yeah, look at it, it looks darker. You could even see my blends right here, right? You can even see it. It comes out a lot more now. So now we get to fix it again, and we get to fix it right. Like I've told you before, we are not victims, right? We do what we do because we have the ability to do it. So now I am not too sure how I'm going to go about this. I think I'm going to try to just double control coat the whole thing, check it with the light, see what happens. If not, I'm just gonna do, you know, through 2 coats and all that stuff. So I'm using Tecna base coat, and it's HV20 cap, and it's a 1.3. And I have the fan wide open, the needle wide open, and I like to play around with my trigger more than fooling around with the needle. So anyways, guys, this is I want to show you this kind of stuff, okay? I try to video every time I screw something up, or every time there's a problem, because you need to realize that in this world, sometimes nothing is going to go your way. In this world, sometimes we need to play the hand that's dealt with us, to us, and stop being a victim. All right, so I want to show you this, because also, maybe some of you think, oh, this guy gets perfect jobs all the time. No, I don't, and I will never pretend to, because that's just a facade. It's not real. So anyways, so let's see how this turns out. I'm gonna go put some gloves on, and then we'll see. I'm gonna wash it, give it a nice wash, and see how it turns out. All right, so I started to wash this, and there's a little hair here from factory. It's inside. You probably can't see it, but there's a little hair in there from factory. There's another sand scratches here from factory underneath the clear. It's crazy. This is a good video to show people that think that their cars are perfect from factory. That does not exist. All right.
So I am hoping that I don't have to polish it. So I'm going to make sure that I clean it very, very, very well. that the holes there for the handles, you can either put foam tape or you can put 2-inch tape, back tape it inside, and that gives you the opportunity to clean in there really well with separate cloths, of course, so you don't have to be wiping all that grease into the panel itself. So always, for the people that don't know this, you always want to make sure that you are wiping it on and then wiping it off with a clean rag. And the reason being is because if you just wipe with one rag, you're spreading everything around, and then if you don't go over with a clean rag, you're not taking all that stuff out, right? So now I am tacking, and like I always tell you guys, try to tack towards one place and at least try blowing everything towards one place. So try to go in the same direction, so then you have everything going to one direction and you don't have to be throwing everywhere everything, right? So you're not going back and forth in different directions. I'm constantly trying to figure out how can I get this job cleaner, because like, I don't know about you guys, but like the one thing that I could never get, like, it just drives me nuts, you know, when I see a few nibs on the job and it's like, oh, how can I just prevent this? And it just drives me crazy, right?
I'm gonna let that flash off. See how it looks like. The blend looks alright. So after putting one coat on, I don't like the way it looks. So I'm just going to cover it completely, cover the door completely, and I'm going to lose the blend here and hope for the best.
So I'm using a Tecna base coat, obviously. This is one of my favorite guns for silvers. It just lays them down very nicely. So I'm spraying at 18 psi right now, and as you can tell, I'm putting it on a bit heavier. I already put one coat on, so then now I can go ahead and put it on a little bit heavier because it's gonna go on top of what I already put on there. So it's gonna be great. So as you can see, this color was difficult. I am not gonna lie. Like, this color was a pain in my butt. That's why, like, I don't know, this color almost made me doubt my ability to paint. And I wanted to really make this video because when something like this happens, it can really get to you. It can really get to your self-esteem and what you think about yourself. And I was just doubting myself and just thinking like, man, like, I suck as a painter. And I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. Like, I go through that too. I constantly doubt myself, right? So I just want to encourage you, and I want you to be encouraged by what I'm telling you right now. Like, things don't go always the way you want them to, right? So I dried that second coat of base really nicely, and now I'm gonna put on a third coat, and I'm gonna put it on a little bit heavier because it looked a little bit blotchy. So I just want to make sure that the metallics are laying down properly and that everything is going to be consistent and the same, and just making sure that I'm giving myself enough room to blend it out, but at the same time staying away from the adjacent panels, right? So let's see how I did it on a curve. So I did it on an angle.
All right, okay, 2 coats. Now I'm going to double control coat. Looks good. Looks great. See, that's the way that you're supposed to do it the first time. All right. Saw how I came down here, right? And then I came down here, staying away from the hood. That's what you want to do. 14 psi. Move quick. Take it out. Beautiful. Yes. Woo. All right, we're ready for clear. So I'm gonna clear all the way this, and I'm gonna try to stay away from the top here on the first coat, and away from the top here on the first coat. Usually they're all right. This one, I'm going to just be on the very, very cautious side. Alright. Okay, so I stay away from there, so we're just gonna have one coat of clear there, and then we're gonna have just one coat of clear there. That looks great.
So I'm using my Iwata WS400 with a 14 HD tip, which is a 1.4, and I'm spraying at 39 psi. These boots are very good, so they take the overspray fairly quickly. But I mean, if you're spraying in a booth that doesn't have very good ventilation, you might not want to spray that at that high of a pressure. But the finish that I get from this PSI is very, very good. And also, if you can see there on the side, I'm trying to be as consistent as possible with the distance between the gun and the vehicle, right? So you can see I'm trying to be as consistent as possible, because you want to keep that fan right at the sweet spot, right? And I'll try to make a video on how to find that sweet spot. I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can explain it to you guys, and you guys will be able to understand it. So I'll work on that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to show you how this thing turned out outside of the booth. All right?
Well, it looks great. In here anyways. I'm gonna bake it, then we'll see how it looks like outside. So there it is. Much better. The door obviously is a tiny little bit darker still, but it's good. Turned out very nice. Boom.